On this episode of Danielosophy, I'm talking to Gabriella Murray about triumphs and conflicts as a preacher's kid. What does it mean for Christians to believe in God, but also interact with the world despite its controversy? With culture's impression on our values, it may be difficult to focus on what's essential for life. Gabby will share her experiences so that we can come to a better conclusion on how to respond. Gabby, thank you for being with me. This is great. This is awesome. I miss you. I haven't seen you in like 10,000 years.
Oh, 42.
Yeah. And then, even then, because you were in school.
Right.
So, all of that. But anyway, you are a preacher's kid. Okay, and that means that, there are, I guess, requirements of you. And I remember when you were a kid, or when you were a lot younger, because we're not the same age. You're only like 5 years younger than me. But anyway, like your mom used to make you wear dresses, but you used to say that you hated it, and I would be like, dresses are like girly. That's the thing, though, right? Like, why'd you hate wearing dresses?
I think it was just more about wearing them often. I'm not really a dress type of person, but I was always expected to wear them, and I just don't know what I like. Even to this day, if I could choose, I wouldn't wear a dress. So I think it was just a preference, and then the frequency of having to wear them so often.
So what does it mean for you to be a preacher's kid? I feel like there's a hard and stressful almost, expectation. How did that conversation with your parents go when they were like, hey, don't embarrass me? What was it?
Right. I think my parents have always done a good job with just establishing this foundation of we're always gonna give you a choice. And they never really forced anything onto me, but it was the outside pressures of, church members or other friends or just people who knew that I was a pastor. So I think that title in and of itself is what applies the pressure. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Because I don't think it was them specifically who was just don't embarrass me, don't do this, don't do that. I think it was just me not wanting to, do that to them, the pressure I put on myself, and then, outside pressures of, the title in and of itself.
So you said that, it was more of the title.
Mm-hmm.
So you feel like titles, if anything, whether you are a preacher's kid or you're a preacher or any of those things, there's a pressure because of the title, not because of who you are.
Right. I agree with that.
What did you feel going to church? What did you feel as a person? What did you?
I feel like I had to be, on my P's and Q's. I feel like I couldn't do what everybody else were to get away with. If someone else were to get in trouble, let's say, for instance, in youth ministry, somebody were to get in trouble, it's fine, just, slap on the wrist. But if it's me, it's okay, we're gonna go talk to your dad.
Dang.
We're gonna have this meeting. We're gonna
don't talk to my dad.
Yeah, because they know who he is. So it's that's always a threat to me. Oh yeah, I'm gonna talk to your dad or whatever. So just him being in close proximity of, any leader's kid probably went through that. Threatening you, doing the right thing, or just feeling like you can't embarrass your parents. I think that's hard on any kid, anybody growing up.
So just simply tell us about yourself, because what you're saying is that you are a person outside of the title. And that's what I love about, being a believer. You can still be who you are, and God accepts you for who you are. And you don't have to be, perfect.
Right.
So, and I'm not saying, tell me your imperfections, but I mean, tell me about yourself in that comparison. Who are you?
I would describe myself as a very compassionate person. I joke around with my friends, and I'm I can't watch the scary movie, I can't watch the sad movie because I'm gonna cry. Because I feel I feel a lot of things. I'm a very emotional person. So if I see a homeless man on the street, I'm oh my God, I'm so sad. Nobody should live under a bridge, or me being at school, seeing a sick person. I can't get through the lesson because I'm thinking about the sick person, So I would describe myself as very compassionate and very, I have a lot of empathy for people. So, and that's outside of, being a pastor's daughter. That's outside of, all those titles. That's who I am. Because it doesn't matter you know, it doesn't matter whose daughter I am, but that's who I am. You know, if we were to take him away from the equation, that's who I am. So.
What do you do for fun?
I like to hang out with my friends. I like to.
But what do you do with your friends?
We like to eat. My friends like to. We're like foodies. We go on Instagram. We're like, ooh, like let's go try this place out, or let's go cook this, or whatever. We like to eat.
You like to eat.
We love to eat. My mom's a good cook too, so we get a lot of her ideas, and we love to eat. Like that's just what we do.
So tell me about the community you grew up in. Rewind. Sorry. So tell me about the community that you grew up in. Like, do you feel like that had an influence on you more than the church?
I think in some ways, yeah. Some ways, yes. As far as like my person, like a lot of people that I grew up with, go to the same elementary school with me, we all are kind of like, we all are educated well. I feel that way. We all went to college. Like even my friends from elementary school, we all went to college, and I don't know. I feel like that played a role in who I became. But obviously, the church had a big, you know, dealing with my upbringing. Because I'm a very spiritual person, I believe in God. But I think all of those things kind of affected me and shaped me into who I am today.
Do you think one weighs more than the other? What I'm asking is, you know, when we think about, you know, like a preacher's kid, it's like, oh, you go to church. You are this type of person because you go to church. But it's like, church, I'm gonna be honest with you, is only on Sunday and maybe every other Wednesday. And even now, there's not that there's no church, but you don't have to put on, you know, a personality for other people.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you feel like one weighs more than the other, possibly?
I don't feel like one way. I feel like they're all together, and you know, you're only one person, so you're a blend of all of these things that you went through, or you're a blend of your environment. So I think they work together. They go together. They're one and the same. You know. Sweet.
Awkward question, and I'm not seeking. I'm not, you know, I ain't trying to like make a move. I mean, like, are you dating, or is that an interest?
It's definitely an interest, but I don't have anybody that I know of that I'm interested in. And if someone's interested in me, then they'll tell me.
Yo, call her. Yo, you got her number. Call her.
You know, people just, I don't know. I think my friends tell me that I'm standoffish in that way. I don't know what that means.
We know what that means.
I don't, because I act the same way with them as I do with my family, as I do with my friends. I feel like I'm really friendly. I talk a lot. But I'm praying for my Boaz. I'm waiting on him.
Come on, Boaz.
I'll be ready. I'll be praying for him, so.
So your parents, they never say, you know, like, get away from them boys, you know, like, don't do that.
I mean, growing up, yeah. Like when I was like 16, when I was in high school, definitely. But my mom was just like, don't bring home nobody that's not worth my time, basically.
Wow.
You know,
that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, like he's a cool dude, but is he worth bringing him home to your parents? You know, you got those cool guys or those, you know, cool people that you talk to, but none of them has reached that, you know, like, okay, this is my Murray worthy to me, you know. So.
That's sweet. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for, you know, keeping us, you know,
keeping us on
our P's and Q's.
Yeah.
That's what it is, right? P's and Q's. What does that even mean?
I don't know. I say a lot too. I say
your problems and questions. How was your freshman year?
My freshman year was fun, great, amazing. It was really good. I learned a lot too.
What do you mean?
Like that transition from, you know, being at school to being at home to going to school. Like that's where I was like, it was just a completely different world. It was like all on me, opposed to like being here. It's like, you know, your parents are taking care of you.
Yeah.
They got you. You don't have to worry about what you're gonna eat. You don't have to worry about you don't have to worry about everyday things here.
So you said that you're like growing up a lot when you're in college, and then I mean, the freedom, right?
The freedom. I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can go wherever you want. You can do anything that you think of in your brain. Like, okay, I want to do this. You can do it.
So you felt not that you felt bound, but you felt like you couldn't do whatever not whatever, but I mean you couldn't do.
Yeah, I could.
You can't.
Can't.
You can't do nothing.
No.
Shoot, I want to go, but I can't go.
Like, too late. Like, it was 10 o'clock. I gotta say something. You know.
Oh man.
Yeah. But at school, it's like, oh my God, it's too. I'll be right back. You know, you just go anyway.
What is your major in college?
Nursing.
Why nursing?
Nursing because I want to be able to help people who are sick, who have disorders, and who don't know who don't have another option. Their last resort is to go see a professional because they're seeking help. So
how much did God play into this, nursing thing? Like did you say, I feel like I am a healer. I am someone who want to help people feel healed. Yeah. Is that what you said in your head? Or
definitely. Like, I want to be able to, heal somebody. I want to be able to play a role in making somebody feel better about themselves, making somebody healthier. All of those things, definitely.
What's the difference between a nurse and a doctor? I mean, like, why not just go for that medical degree,
Well, doctors, it's 4 more years. And doctors, they deal less with the patient. It's more of the nurse who's actually with the patient care and then like in the beds with them every day, like not monitoring their, their vitals and stuff like that. Doctors are they give orders and they have the degree so that they can write the prescriptions. But the nurses are dealing with the patients more,
Do you feel like being a nurse, not exactly is more important than being a doctor, but because you do so much more, it seems.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're the one who's really on the battlefield?
Definitely. I watch Grey's Anatomy, but they always talk about how the nurses are like the glue of the hospital. And that's really true. Those are the people who are doing most of the work. They're helping you to the restroom. They're doing the things that nobody really wants to do.
Did Grey's Anatomy more like inspire you, or was that just like a part of it?
No, because I just started watching TV. Really, I'm not really a TV watcher.
What? Why?
I don't know. I never grew up with a TV in my room, and so like, I guess that played a role because I never was like, oh, let me go look in my room and watch TV. Like, I never did that. So, but just recently because of quarantine, I started getting into some shows. Netflix, Hulu, a lot of that. Be careful,
because I love television and I have issues. Because I'm like, no, stop. I can't, just stop it. No, and it's like, no, I really got to watch this episode. And I have to watch the next one. I mean, binge watching has been such an extreme impact on our culture. Mm-hmm. It's like, dang, like, I really want to, and it's fun. It's fun. Bringing up culture, how do you feel, culture weighs on Christians today? Like, how do you feel like we can balance it out?
I think the culture has a big impact on everybody, Christians or not. But I think the way that you let it affect you is more important because, obviously everybody has Instagram, everybody has Twitter, everybody has Netflix, but, you have to get to a point where you're like, okay, I need a day away from social media today, or I need to watch 3 episodes of this and let me turn it off and read my Bible. So I think it's individually how you want it to affect you. How are you going to let it consume you, So, but everybody's going to be, affected, especially if you're, younger. You're going to be affected. You're going to know the slangs. You're going to know, but are you going to let it consume you?
That's a good point. When I think about as a teenager, we kind of want to embrace, a lot of stuff, and we're just like, I just want to do what I want to do. And I'm not saying that we're all rebellious, but we do have a little bit of rebellion, especially even as what do you call it, like preachers' kids, mm-hmm. and as Christians, because it seems like that pressure.
Right.
And it's like we want to do something other than what we've known our entire life.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have any regrets, going into college, your major, not exactly the life that you've chosen, but do you feel like, I wish I didn't do this?
Yeah. There's a lot of things that I regret.
For example?
For example, without giving any names, without doing all that, I wish I would have gone into freshman year more as an individual. Like I should have gone to freshman year without, previous friends from high school. I should have gone there and like had my experience, meeting more people and, joining more organizations instead of like bringing, high school into college. So.
Do you feel like the friendships that you had have weakened because of college?
Definitely. And, I see it less as weakened, but more as like I grew. And so the friendships that I had, maybe they were seasonal. They were supposed to be taken with me into college. And so, they kind of faded away. And at the time I didn't understand it. I was like, really affected by it. And I was like, wow, like I missed, how things were. But I realized like that was a seasonal thing. That was a seasonal friendship, and God puts people in your lives for times and reasons. And that time was up. So I didn't understand it then, but I definitely understand it now.
If you didn't go to college, what would you be doing?
I honestly don't know. I'll probably be working, but as far as those friendships, I probably would still be in some of those friendships that I didn't need to be in. I don't know. I feel like my freshman year was very, very insightful. More insightful than my sophomore year, and more insightful than anything in high school I've been through. So it was definitely needed. It was an experience that I needed to get me to where I am today.
What would you say to people watching, to encourage them to make the best decision concerning college?
I think going into college, you need to be open-minded. You need to step out of your comfort zone. It's going to be like a stretch and grow moment. Like you want to, join that organization or, go to this event that you really kind of are scared about going to. Like just get out there and, there's so many people to meet, so many things to learn. But if you stay in your room all day, you're not going to get that experience. If you're, shy, you're not going to get that experience. You have to stretch and grow, for sure. That's what I would say.
Well, thank you, Gabby, for joining me in this interview. So this episode is more about, like what does it mean to be a preacher's kid and go to college and, be educated and not exactly be in the world, but using your gifts to like promote you or to propel you into the next stage.
Right.
Just because we're preacher's kids doesn't mean that we're not people and we have responsibilities in the world. I mean, there's work to do. Whether that mean, we have to, talk about Jesus Christ, or whether it means I need to heal some people, I need to talk to some people, I need to teach somebody. And I think one of the most important things about your life is that, you can have a testimony about who you are and how you've grown. And because of that growth, you're doing great things, not only for the world, but really for God. Thank you for watching this episode of Danielosophy. Overall, our issues with life can make us distracted, but digging through the things that don't really matter and treasuring our values will help us overcome. Gabby shows us the treasure of identity. The best qualities about you can be used for learning in college and applied to a corresponding career. You can have personality and live out your godly purpose too. Check out these other episodes concerning whether college is for you.